All right, our guest today. Well, here's so many things, Alan. You're a comedian, you're an actor, you're a writer. People will know you from Jonathan Creek. People will know you from QI. People know you from your stand-up, from your books. It's all going on. Alan Davies, welcome. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Good
for
to
being
be
here. Where to begin? First of all, you've got a lot going on. You're mid-tour. Not mid-tour, but the tour has started.
Yeah, my tour, it's called Think Ahead, because that's what I'm having to do these days, you know. The byline is I spend more time in the pharmacy than the gym. So there's a lot of thinking ahead goes on.
Is that what's that? Of an age? Is that the thing?
Of an age. As are my audience.
Yeah.
Someone in the third row the other night, and an alarm went off, a phone alarm went off.
Yeah.
And a handbag, and I said, "Is that to remind you to take your medication?" And she said, "Yes." And then we had to wait for her to find her pill. No one wanted her to miss a dose. You can't miss a dose, right? So yeah, there's a little bit of that in it.
Did you actually wait? Did you all
actually waited for her to find the rattly tub of pills? And I asked the audience the other night, and I had someone who was born in 2008.
Yeah, wow.
And someone who was born in the 30s.
In the 1930s.
Yeah, and they got a round of applause. They got a condescending round of applause for being alive and facing the stage.
Yeah. Facing the right way. Yeah.
But it's very enjoyable. I haven't toured. I've done stand-up still over the years, not in COVID, which is an awful period for all comedians.
Yeah, I bet.
But it's the first time I've toured for 10 years. So I'm going to Stockton-on-Tees tomorrow night. To the restored Globe Theatre. First time I've ever played there.
Beautiful.
So I'm going around all these towns, and I'm really enjoying it.
I was told Paul Merton was here last week. He's touring with Suki, and I was asking him about I've seen some of the theatres, particularly in London, but I haven't been out and about. Bar Stratford, and the theatres. Do they matter to you as a performer, or is it just is it the stage that matters? Or
no, there are theatres I'm playing on this tour that I've never played before. The Opera House in Manchester, or there's the Princess Theatre in Eastbourne, which you see it and it's built in the 60s.
Yeah.
And you might think, well, why is that special? But it's opened by Princess Margaret, and it was an architectural classic.
She was the fun one, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was the fun one. The people of Eastbourne don't know what they've got, you know. And I'm doing the Cambridge Theatre in London, which is where Matilda's on. It's a beautiful theatre.
I was in there. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah.
So I love being on the stage in these places.
The guy who said to you, forgive me for not remembering his name, who said, "Enjoy yourself," almost in passing one day.
Mike Wilmot.
Thank you. Mike Wilmot said, "Enjoy yourself." That really stayed with you. It's a very plain, simple instruction or wish to you, but it stayed with you.
It stayed with me, and I say it to myself.
Why did it stay with you?
Well, when he said that was 2011.
Yeah.
And I hadn't done stand-up for 10 years. And when I think about that 10 years, I did a lot of television acting and Jonathan Creek in particular.
Yeah.
And I was away from stand-up, and I don't think it was very good for me to be away from stand-up.
For that long?
Yeah. And I still, because I've done this book that I'm doing a book tour and a stand-up tour at the same time, and I sort of talk about it in the book. It's called White Male Stand-Up. It's about being a stand-up and then not doing it. Yeah. And I was kind of persuaded back in, and I had the fear.
Yeah.
And Mike, he's a Canadian comedian I've known for years.
Yeah.
He was standing next to me as I'm about to go on and do some new material. And he must have picked something up. And he just leant into my ear and said, "Hey, enjoy yourself up there," you know. And it was such good advice.
And you took it.
I say it to my kids.
Yeah.
Try and enjoy this. Try and enjoy it. If you have that mindset, it helps. But I had another experience around that time when I was going back to stand up, and I was asked to do a big charity gig at the Albert Hall.
Yeah.
And that's a once in a lifetime chance to play at the Albert Hall for the Teenage Cancer Trust. And Jimmy Carr was on before me. Jimmy Carr's he's throwing jokes out like hand grenades. Yeah. 5,000 people laughing, and I'm on next.
Right.
I hadn't done stand-up for 10 years.
I'm getting nervous now.
And Stuart Francis is another Canadian comedian. He came up behind me and he goes, "I'd hate to be following this guy." But it had the same effect.
I did it.
Of relaxing me.
Yeah.
He made me laugh. I don't even know him. And I looked round and he had such a twinkle in his eye.
Yeah.
But one of the things I like about being back on with stand-up is seeing other comics.
Yeah. I mean, it's a long time to, like, you talked about enjoy yourself. That was after 10 years. Here we are 10 years gone.
Yeah.
What do you fear? What do you worry about after that big gap?
Well, when I was putting together a touring show, really, ultimately, it's have I got enough stuff to talk about? You know, have I got material?
Yeah.
But also with this show, I wanted to talk about the whole picture of, you know, I'm talking about myself largely.
Of course.
As comedians
do.
First port of call for material. What have I been doing?
Yeah.
How
am I feeling?
What have my kids said to me?
Yeah.
Am I ill? Am I alive? Who's left me?
Who stayed?
So there's that kind of thing, getting the material. But also, I'm 60 next year, and I wanted to talk about all the things in my life, things that have been less than pleasant, more difficult, find a way to touch on subjects so I'm looking at an audience of people who've lived a life, many of them.
Yes.
And all these things are in their lives, and you ought to be able to talk about any subject.
So are you weaving, because you've been very honest about your life ever since you started writing, and do you weave sort of cold, hard, honest stories with comedy, or is it all done through a comic prism?
Well, I'm touching on more difficult subjects, I suppose, but with the reassurance of the audience that hilarious jokes about erectile dysfunction will be along in a minute.
Yeah. So don't rush out the door. It's all going to happen. Yeah. So you keep that going.
So I'm hoping, and then so far, touch wood, it seems to be working, that you get a kind of a richer, fuller comedy show.
Yeah, I lived in.
Yeah, rather than by parking, that subject's too difficult, or that subject's a bit dark. Let's keep it light. Let's talk about how shopping trolleys won't go in a straight line.
Yeah, that stuff.
And then they seem a bit silly when you're nearly 60 and you're just... then it's all sort of people-pleasing, skin deep. You've got to be able to talk about actual things.
Yeah, for sure. Please tell me you fall asleep in cinema. Do you when you go to the cinema?
I thought there's an American... I forget. I can't remember the guy's name. But I think he had a show in it, and the title of it was I Sleep at Red Lights.
Yeah,
and it was about parenting. And you drive up to a traffic light, and before it goes green, you're asleep. That resonated with me.
There's an element of it. Stick around, Alan. I've got to play some music. Alan Davies, our guest, live at the top of the tower this morning. So you mentioned you're heading towards 60.
Yeah, next year.
You said that people are beginning to say you look a little like James May. In appearance. How do you feel about that?
I'll get that or Hugh Fernley Whittingstall.
The River Cottage.
I've honestly had people say to me, "Oh, I like your cooking."
Do they really? It's like it's that.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I do a leek and potato soup or a veggie cottage pie. And you've never had either.
Yeah, I read something that you said something really interesting about why hasn't proper comedians won an Oscar, for example, because they deserve them. And you singled out Will Ferrell for both Blades of Glory and Elf, obviously, because but they are knockout performers. Both of them are knockout. Tell me about what was your thinking behind that, trying to in defence of Will Ferrell.
You are sitting on a throne of lies. That was my favourite.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
I don't understand why comedians don't get those prizes.
Seriously,
I really don't. And I feel like what he's doing. Actors, I mean, there are great actors, right? I was just talking to someone earlier about Brad Pitt in Babylon.
Yeah.
His performance is astonishing.
He's brilliant. I haven't seen that.
Should have got an Oscar for it. The film maybe is flawed, but he was brilliant. But he didn't. But the comedian, I don't know what it is. People think, oh, well, it's Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
It's just being Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
But, okay, put someone else in and see how they manage this. And he's completely engaging. You can't take your eyes off him. He's a brilliant actor.
Yes,
it's acting. I just don't. I think it's a bit undervalued. But then on the other hand, they're prizes. Prizes, schmizes.
Yeah. Let's not die on that rock.
That's
that
not
hill.
why we went and started doing comedy in the first place.
Yeah, no, I appreciate.
He would imagine him with an Oscar in his hand, turning it upside down, giving it a silly voice. I mean, he wouldn't know what to do with it. Yeah. He certainly wouldn't be crying.
When you think of QI and how long you've been at QI and the joy it brings you, and yet you said, I was curious to know why it never broke into the United States of America, and I think the reason for it is possibly one of the most bizarre reasons I've ever heard for why a TV show has never broken into another country.
Yeah, well, I think the principal reason is we use so many pictures on the screens behind us, and you have to get clearance for every single
copyright thing.
Picture, yeah. And so they can't be shown on other networks without paying the guy who took the picture. And I talked about this on social media about how frustrating this was. And I've got so much abuse from the photographic community.
Oh, did you? There's always somebody waiting for a fight.
I didn't mean you shouldn't be paid. I just meant there must be a way of getting this over the line.
Yeah.
But we just Yeah, 23 years.
It's incredible.
Is it a long run or is it a life imprisonment?
Well, are there days where you go, or versus days where you go, yeah, you know, like in life, you know, when you're going into the office, do you feel sometimes this is going on a bit? Or
Well, I mean, people come up to me all the time, and when I'm on tour and after the show I sign books, and the amount of people who say, oh, we watch it all the time.
Yeah.
We watch the old ones.
Yeah.
We absolutely love it. And then you realise what's going on out there, how popular it is.
Yeah.
The W series starts on Tuesday the 21st. It's coming up, you know.
Yeah.
So you won't just have to be reruns. Suddenly there are new ones.
Yes, yeah.
And I know that people absolutely love it. It's for us, it's different now because we have to do 3 shows in 24 hours. We used to do a show and then go to the bar, and it was like a kind of dinner party.
Yeah.
And now they're kind of flogging you like you're rowing in one of those.
You do
like you're
3
a slave
shows
in a rowing ship.
What, sorry, you do 3 shows in
You
what?
do a show one evening, and then you do 2 shows the next day. So it's kind of 3 and... Then someone said to me, listen, Alan, stop saying it's 3 in 24 hours. It's 3 in 26 hours.
All the unions getting on. He's wrong. With the photographers giving out.
Give us a day off. Can't we do 3 over 3 now? But that's telly. It's like everything.
Yeah.
You know... And it's the world's smallest violin, right?
It is a bit, but at the same time, it's a lot. And you're being nostalgic for the days where it was a show, the pub.
Yeah.
You know, like the old days.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah, it made no economic sense, but it was great fun.
But then I watched Richard Osman doing House of Games, and I know they do 5 in a day.
5,
and you can see it in the eyes of those contestants. He says, "Now here's a question for you," and they're all looking at him like, "What?"
That reminds me of Alan Leach. He's in Downton Abbey, you know, plays the butler.
Oh yeah.
And I said, what is the downside of it, if you like? And he said, have you any idea what it's like to have to eat cold chicken over and over? Because would you like more chicken? Yes. Yeah. And it's a bit like that. 5 quizzes in one day, 3 QIs in 26 hours.
26
Let's
hours.
get that right for starters.
Hours,
but you've been good to it. It's been good to you. Everyone's winning in some ways. You know?
Oh yeah, no, it's the thing about QI is there's a team of researchers who work on it for 4 months.
Yeah.
And they're some of the brightest people you could meet, and so they create all this world that you can play around in. Yeah. And here come the comedians whining about how long they've got to sit in the chair and talk nonsense.
As they were doing that.
We've been working on this for 4 months.
Alan, it's been great to see you coming in today. We'll come back again another time. I'd love to talk to you further about different things. But your book, White Male Stand Up, that's out now. Tickets for your show on sale. Think Ahead, it's called. The site to get them on, alandavis.live. Let's see where you're heading. So we're looking at the calendar, the 8th today. So you're in the Globe Theatre in Stockton.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Up to the Grand Opera House in York, then you're Cardiff, Lincoln, Stoke, Cambridge, Swindon, Woking, London, Warrington, the whole thing. You're a man on the move. Peripatetic, as they say.
All over the place.
Lovely to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alan.